If you're trying to make money from YouTube, you need to hear this. YouTube has just announced a major change to its partner program. And for new creators, the amount of watch time or shorts views needed for advertising and YouTube Premium revenue sharing is about to become twice as high. The old target was 4,000 watch hours. The new target will be 8,000 qualified watch hours. And if you're taking the shorts route, the requirement goes from 10 million qualified shorts views to 20 million. And yes, this is official. But before you panic and start thinking, I'm never getting monetized, there's something very important you need to understand. These changes don't take effect immediately, and they don't affect everyone in the same way. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what YouTube changed, when it starts, who is affected, what happens to the current monetization requirements, and most importantly, what small creators like us should actually do now.
Let's start with the biggest change. YouTube announced new requirements for creators who are trying to enter the YouTube Partner Program and earn from advertising and YouTube Premium revenue retail. Starting February 1st, 2027, new creators will need 8,000 qualified watch hours in the previous 365 days, or 20 million qualified shorts views in the previous 90 days. That's a huge change, because the previous numbers were 4,000 watch hours or 10 million shorts views. So the viewing requirement has effectively doubled. And there's an important word here: qualified. We're not talking about just any random views or any watch time appearing somewhere inside YouTube Analytics. The eligibility requirements are based on the qualifying activity YouTube counts for YPP. So if you're watching this because you're trying to reach monetization, don't just look at the total watch time number inside your entire channel and assume every minute automatically counts toward the requirement. You need to look at the actual eligibility information inside YouTube Studio. Now, there is another important part of this announcement. The subscriber requirement hasn't been doubled. The big change YouTube announced is to the viewing requirements. So the headline isn't, YouTube now requires 2,000 subscribers. That's not what happened. The major change is the amount of qualifying viewing activity required for the full advertising and premium revenue retail sharing path. And this is why the headline, YouTube just doubled the monetization requirements, is technically referring to the watch hour and shorts view thresholds. YouTube says this update is intended to keep the partner program focused on active creators as the platform continues to grow. And YouTube says the update will not.
Now, let's get to the question I know many small creators are asking. What happens to the 4,000 watch hours? This is where things can get confusing. If you're watching this in 2026, don't suddenly assume that the 4,000 hour requirement has already disappeared. YouTube says the new terms take effect on February 1st, 2027, so there is a transition period. And this is extremely important for creators who are already working toward monetization. If you are currently building your channel, you should not look at this announcement and say, well, there's no point trying anymore because I'll never reach 8,000 hours. That's the wrong conclusion. You should instead ask, what can I accomplish before the new rules take effect? Because right now, we're still in 2026. And that means you have time to build your channel, grow your audience, and work toward the existing requirements before the new rules come into effect. But there's another thing I want to make very clear. Don't build your entire strategy around racing a deadline. If your channel isn't growing, simply telling yourself, I need to reach 4,000 hours before February, isn't a strategy. You still need videos people actually want to watch. You still need strong topics. You still need thumbnails that make people stop scrolling. You still need viewers to stay. And you need subscribers who actually care about your content. That's why, personally, I don't think this announcement means YouTube is impossible now. I think it means the importance of building an actual audience is becoming even greater. And if you're already creating useful long-form content, the change doesn't mean you should suddenly abandon long-form videos and start pumping out random shorts just because shorts appear easier to produce. In fact,
now here's where this update gets even more interesting. YouTube isn't only changing the requirements for new creators. There's also a new rule involving Shorts revenue. Starting February 1st, 2027, creators who want to continue receiving advertising and subscription revenue sharing from Shorts will need 10 million qualified Shorts views in the previous 90 days. And if a channel falls below that threshold, YouTube says the channel remains in the partner program and can continue earning from long-form content. Shorts revenue sharing can resume when the channel crosses that 10 million view threshold again. That's a very important distinction. You don't necessarily get thrown out of YPP just because you fall below the Shorts threshold. Your Shorts revenue sharing is affected, but your long-form monetization isn't automatically wiped out. So, if you're a Shorts creator, this is something you're going to want to pay very close attention to. Now, let's talk about the 500 subscriber level, because I know someone is going to ask about it. YouTube specifically says the entry thresholds for its fan funding and shopping products remain unchanged. So don't confuse the new 8,000 hour requirement with every monetization feature on YouTube. There are different levels and different ways creators can earn. The new announcement specifically changes the requirements for ads and YouTube Premium revenue sharing for new creators. And that distinction matters, because if somebody makes a video saying, YouTube now requires 8,000 hours before you can make any money, that's an oversimplification. YouTube's own announcement does not say that. The new 8,000 hour or 20 million Shorts threshold is specifically about entering YPP for advertising and premium revenue sharing. The fan funding and shop.
Now, let's forget about the headlines for a moment. What should you actually do? If you're a small creator watching this and you haven't been monetized yet, here's what I would do. Number 1. Don't quit. Seriously, if you have 10 subscribers, 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, or even 0 subscribers, this announcement doesn't mean there's no opportunity for you. It means you need to take your content strategy seriously. Number 2. Stop chasing random views. One viral video isn't a business. You need an audience that actually wants your next video. That's why your topic selection matters so much. Instead of asking, what video can I make today? Ask, what problem is my audience trying to solve right now? That's a much better question. Number 3. Don't rely entirely on Shorts if your goal is long-form monetization. Shorts can absolutely help you reach people and gain subscribers. But if you're building toward the long-form watch hour route, you need people watching your long-form videos. And that means creating videos that are long enough to provide real value.
So there you have it. YouTube is changing the partner program requirements for new creators starting February 1st, 2027. The big change is 8,000 qualified watch hours or 20 million qualified Shorts views for advertising and YouTube Premium revenue sharing. Existing YPP creators aren't affected by this new entry threshold, and YouTube says its fan funding and shopping thresholds remain unchanged. The question now is, do you think YouTube is making monetization too difficult for small creators? Let me know in the comments. And if you're also trying to build a YouTube channel from scratch, subscribe to TrendMeek. We're going to keep watching these changes, testing different strategies, and figuring out what actually works for small creators. I'll see you in the next one.